This is one of the easiest beginner-friendly landscapes that you can possibly paint. The first thing I want you to do is grab your watercolors and give them a good spritz. By the way, pre-wetting your watercolors means that they're activated so you have more access to the colors, and that means that they're going to be more vibrant, which is usually what you want. Also, sometimes I like to tape off the edges of my sketchbooks. This is not a necessary step. I just think the borders are really cute, so you can do this if you want to. Then I want you to grab some fresh water and fill your brush up with it, and I want you to wet the entire thing. In order to make sure you have the whole page covered, find a reflection and hold it up so that you can see where the paper is wet and where it's not. Then near the top of the page, while it's still wet, drop a little yellow in, and then from the bottom, drop a little bit of pink. Just let those colors softly bleed together. Then you need to let it dry or make it dry. Letting it dry just means setting it to the side, but if you're impatient like me, you can use something like a hair dryer or a heat gun. This one's by Chandler Tools. You just want to make sure there are no standing puddles of water because otherwise they go everywhere. And then once it's dry, we want to mix up a color. And I want you to mix up a pretty dark color. To do that with pans of paint, you put some water in one of these wells. Make sure your colors are nice and wet so that they're activated and a little creamy. And then you can mix up whatever color you want. I want to mix up kind of a muted purple color. So I am going to grab some red, some pink, and some blue. And I'm going to mix that into the water here. When you first mix it, it's going to be light like this. We want it to be more concentrated than that though. In order to make it darker, we don't want any more water in there. So we're just going to continue to grab those colors. I'm not washing my brush in between. And my colors are going to get a little messy, but that's okay. And you just keep adding in more paint to your watery mixture until it gets darker. This can take a bit, so try to be patient and just keep adding in more and more color until you get to the saturation and color that you want. Now that we have a nice dark color, what we actually want to do is in the well next to it, I'm going to put some water, and then with the remaining color in my brush, I'm just going to mix that in. That makes a much lighter version of this color. The lighter color is going to be our furthest mountains. Our darkest color will be our final layer of mountains. On the now dry paper, you're just going to make the shape of mountains and bring that all the way down to the bottom of the page. Then again, we need to let this dry or make it dry. And then once it's dry, I want you to use your brush kind of like a spoon, and we're going to scoop up some of the darker color, and we're going to then mix it into our lighter color. This is going to make us a color that's somewhere between our darkest and our lightest color. And we're going to paint another layer of mountains. And you guessed it, let it dry or make it dry. For our third and final layer of mountains, we're going to use that darkest color that we mixed up initially, and we're just going to add that on. And just like that, we've painted a soft sunset over the mountains. I love this painting because it's so simple and so stunning. You should try it.